The last flight, 907. Captain Hamza Rashid looked out through the cockpit window. The aircraft stood silent on the runway, yet the air felt heavy with an unexplained unease. Midnight had already passed, and this flight was not meant to depart under normal circumstances. Beside him in the cockpit sat First Officer Saad, repeatedly checking the instruments. "Sir, the weather is clear, but something doesn't feel right," Saad said quietly. Hamza forced a faint smile. Since when did pilots start listening to their feelings? From the control tower, air traffic controller Imran's voice came through the radio. "Flight 907, you are cleared for takeoff." The aircraft slowly rolled down the runway and disappeared into the dark sky. For a few minutes, everything remained normal. The plane climbed above the clouds. Outside, there was complete silence, as if the world had been left behind. Suddenly, Saad stared at the radar. "Sir, what is that?" A single dot appeared on the screen, moving unlike any ordinary aircraft. Hamza immediately contacted the control tower. "Imran, we have an unidentified object on our radar." There was a brief silence. Then Imran's voice returned, but it sounded distorted. 907, it's not in the file." Suddenly, the cockpit lights flickered. Outside the windshield, within the clouds, a dark shadow emerged. It was moving alongside the aircraft, matching its speed perfectly. Saad's breath grew unsteady. "This isn't a drone. This is something else." The radio crackled again. "Hamza," the voice no longer sounded like Imran's. "You have chosen a path from which there is no return." The autopilot shut off without warning. Alarms blared. "I don't have control," Hamza shouted. The instruments went wild. Altitude showing one thing, speed showing another. Hamza opened the rear door and stepped into the cabin. There were no passengers. The seats were empty. Luggage remained untouched, but the people were gone. Saad stood behind him, trembling. "Sir, where have we come?" At that moment, the dark shadow outside began to spread, no longer like clouds, but like a living entity. The radio transmitted one final message. "This flight never lands. It only joins." When they returned to the cockpit, every screen had gone dark. Outside, the sky was changing color. Neither night nor day. Hamza gripped the controls one last time, but the aircraft was no longer under his command. Slowly, everything faded into fog. The next morning, the control tower record stated, "Flight 907 vanished in mid-air. No wreckage, no signal." But even today, some pilots claim that on certain nights the number 907 appears on radar for a brief moment, and then a whisper follows. This is the last flight